Retro Road Test, Ford Orion vs Rover 216. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, the compact sedan market in the UK was dominated by two standout contenders, the Ford Orion and the Rover 216. Both cars represent the evolution of British and European motoring, with Ford continuing its tradition of practical, reliable vehicles, while Rover sought to infuse a sense of luxury and refinement into the affordable sedan market. This road test aims to provide an in-depth comparison of these two iconic models, exploring their design, performance, comfort, handling, and overall driving experience. Introduction to the Ford Orion and Rover 216. Ford Orion. The Ford Orion was launched in 1983, essentially a sedan version of the successful Ford Escort. Positioned as a more upmarket variant, the Orion came with an extended boot to give it a more traditional saloon appearance. The model we'll focus on here is the Orion 1.6 gear, which combines higher-end features with a competent engine. With a reputation for reliability and affordability, the Orion became a staple on British roads during its production run. Rover 216. The Rover 216, on the other hand, was part of the Rover 200 series, a collaboration between Rover and Honda. The second generation, R8, was released in 1989 and marked a significant leap forward for the brand. The 216 badge refers to the 1.6-litre engine under the bonnet, with the top trim being the 216 GTI, which offered spirited performance paired with luxury touches. The 216 aimed to bring a sense of premium to the compact sedan segment. Exterior design and styling. Ford Orion. At first glance, the Ford Orion embodies a practical, no-nonsense design. Its boxy, angular silhouette is reminiscent of 1980s design ethos, prioritizing function over form. The Orion's square lines and extended boot give it a more traditional three-box sedan appearance compared to the Escort hatchback from which it was derived. The front end of the Orion features Ford's signature grille of the era, flanked by square headlights that complement the overall angular design. The gear trim level adds chrome accents and body-colored bumpers, elevating its curb appeal compared to lower-spec models. Despite its relatively conservative design, the Orion has a certain charm in its simplicity, reflecting the straightforward nature of the car itself. Rover 216. The Rover 216, by contrast, carries a more modern and sophisticated design. Influenced by its collaboration with Honda, the Rover 216 looks far more curvaceous and aerodynamic than the boxy Orion. Its smooth lines, rounded corners, and flush-mounted headlights give it a sleeker, more contemporary appearance. One of the standout features of the Rover 216 is its more streamlined profile, which contributes to a better drag coefficient. The chrome detailing around the windows and grille gives the car a premium look, especially in higher spec trims like the GTI. The Rover's design successfully merges modern aesthetics with traditional British elegance, making it stand out in a sea of bland compact sedans. Winner, Rover 216. While the Ford Orion is by no means unattractive, its design feels more utilitarian, especially when compared to the Rover 216, which offers a more dynamic and modern appearance. The Rover wins this round for its sleek lines and more sophisticated styling, appealing to those looking for a little more elegance in their compact sedan. Interior and comfort. Ford Orion. Step inside the Ford Orion, and you're greeted with a cabin that focuses on functionality. The seats are comfortable, offering good support for long journeys, although they lack the plushness that would be expected in a more luxurious model. The dashboard layout is simple and effective, with all the necessary controls within easy reach of the driver. However, some of the materials used feel a bit cheap, especially compared to what was available in the Rover 216. The Orion's gear trim does add some refinements, such as electric windows, power mirrors, and a sunroof, but it still falls short of feeling like a premium product. The interior space is adequate, with good legroom for front passengers. The rear seat passengers might feel slightly cramped, especially on longer journeys. The boot, thanks to the extended rear end, is spacious and practical, making the Orion an excellent choice for those who prioritize storage. Rover 216. The Rover 216, especially in GTI spec, offers a far more upmarket cabin experience. The interior design feels more refined, with better materials used throughout. The seats are more supportive and come with higher quality upholstery. The dashboard layout is more modern than the Orion's, with a more ergonomic design that emphasizes driver comfort. Higher trim levels feature wood accents, further enhancing the luxurious feel of the cabin. Where the Rover 216 truly shines is in its attention to detail. Small touches like the soft touch materials, the well-padded door panels, and the elegant instrumentation all contribute to a sense of quality. The Rover also offers more headroom and rear passenger space, making it the better choice for carrying adults in the back. Boot space is slightly smaller than in the Orion, but still adequate for most everyday needs. Winner, Rover 216. The Rover 216 wins this category due to its superior interior quality, more supportive seating, and a more premium feel overall. The Ford Orion's interior, while functional and spacious, feels somewhat dated and lacks the refinement found in the Rover. Performance and engines. Ford Orion. The Ford Orion 1.6 gear comes equipped with Ford's 1.6-liter CVH engine, a workhorse of the time. Producing around 90 horsepower, the engine provides adequate performance for daily driving, though it doesn't offer much in terms of excitement. The CVH engine is known for its durability, but it can feel somewhat coarse compared to more refined units in rival cars. The Orion's acceleration is modest, with a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of around 10.5 seconds, which is decent for a compact sedan of this era. The 5-speed manual gearbox is smooth enough, though the shift action feels a bit rubbery compared to some of its rivals. On the motorway, the Orion feels stable and composed, though the engine can become noisy at high revs. Fuel economy is reasonable, with an average of around 35 miles per gallon, making it a cost-effective choice for long-distance driving. Rover 216. The Rover 216, particularly in GTI trim, features a 1.6-liter Honda D16 engine, which produces 122 horsepower. This is a significant boost over the Orion, giving the 216 a far sportier feel. The Honda engine is smoother and more refined than Ford's CVH unit, with a higher rev limit that encourages enthusiastic driving. The 0 to 60 miles per hour time for the Rover 216 GTI is a brisk 8.5 seconds, making it one of the quicker compact sedans of its time. The 5-speed manual gearbox is slick and precise, complementing the sporty nature of the engine. The Rover's power delivery is more linear, and it feels more eager to accelerate than the Orion. Fuel economy is slightly lower, averaging around 32 miles per gallon, but this is a small price to pay for the increased performance. Winner, Rover 216. The Rover 216 clearly outperforms the Ford Orion in terms of engine refinement and outright performance. The Honda-sourced engine in the Rover is both smoother and more powerful, making the driving experience more engaging and enjoyable. Handling and ride comfort. Ford Orion. The Ford Orion offers a ride that prioritizes comfort over handling precision. The suspension setup is soft, which allows the car to soak up most bumps and potholes with ease, making it an excellent choice for long motorway drives. However, this softness comes at the expense of handling, as the Orion feels a bit floaty through corners. The steering is light, which is great for city driving, but it lacks the precision and feedback needed for more spirited driving. Body roll is noticeable when pushing the Orion through tight bends, and the car doesn't inspire much confidence when driving enthusiastically. However, for everyday driving, the Orion's comfort-focused setup works well, especially for those who prefer a relaxed, no-fuss driving experience. Rover 216. The Rover 216, especially in GTI form, offers a more balanced ride and handling package. The suspension is firmer than the Orion's, giving the car a more planted feel through corners. There's less body roll, and the car feels more agile and responsive. The steering is more direct and offers better feedback, making the Rover 216 a joy to drive on twisty country roads. Despite its firmer suspension, the Rover doesn't sacrifice much in terms of ride comfort. It still manages to smooth out most road imperfections, though it can feel a bit harsher over particularly rough surfaces compared to the Orion. For drivers who enjoy a more engaging driving experience, the Rover 216 is the clear choice, offering a better balance between comfort and handling. Winner, Rover 216. The Rover 216 once again takes the lead in this category. Its firmer suspension and more responsive steering make it the more enjoyable car to drive, while still maintaining a reasonable level of comfort. The Ford Orion's softer setup may appeal to those prioritizing comfort, but it lacks the precision and control of the Rover. Practicality and running costs. Ford Orion. The Ford Orion scores well in terms of practicality. Its large boot offers plenty of storage space, making it ideal for families or those who frequently carry luggage. Rear seat space is adequate, though taller passengers may find legroom a bit tight. Running costs are relatively low, with affordable parts and servicing, as well as decent fuel economy for the 1.6-liter engine. The Orion's reputation for reliability is another major selling point, with many examples of this car racking up high mileages without major issues. Insurance costs are also reasonable, making the Orion an excellent choice for budget-conscious drivers. Rover 216. The Rover 216 offers a slightly smaller boot, but still enough space for most practical needs. Rear seat space is better than in the Orion, making it a more comfortable choice for carrying passengers. However, running costs are slightly higher due to the more complex Honda engine, which can be more expensive to maintain. Fuel economy is also slightly lower in the Rover 216, particularly in GTI trim, though it's still within a reasonable range for a compact sedan. Insurance costs may also be higher due to the sportier nature of the GTI model. While the Rover is generally reliable, it doesn't quite match the bulletproof reputation of the Ford Orion in this regard. Winner, Ford Orion. The Ford Orion wins this category due to its lower running costs, larger boot space, and reputation for reliability. While the Rover 216 is still practical, its higher maintenance costs and slightly smaller boot give the Orion the edge in this area. Verdict: Ford Orion vs Rover 216. In this head-to-head comparison, the Rover 216 emerges as the overall winner, offering superior performance, a more refined interior, and better handling. Its sporty nature, particularly in GTI trim, makes it the more engaging car to drive, while its premium cabin feel adds a touch of luxury to the compact sedan segment. However, it does come with slightly higher running costs and a smaller boot compared to the Ford Orion. The Ford Orion, on the other hand, is the more practical and affordable option. Its larger boot, lower running costs, and reputation for reliability make it a solid choice for those who prioritize practicality over performance. While it lacks the refinement and excitement of the Rover, the Orion still holds its own as a comfortable, no-nonsense sedan. Ultimately, the decision between these two cars comes down to what you value most in a compact sedan. If you want a more refined, performance-oriented vehicle, the Rover 216 is the clear choice. However, if practicality and affordability are your top priorities, the Ford Orion is hard to beat.